And hey everyone, Mark Newsader with eXp Realty. Thursday, August 11th. Is it the dog days of summer? We shall find out here momentarily, along with Jaden Bax of Avenue Financial with the weekly mortgage news. So let's get right to it. It's a beautiful day, and I don't know about you, Jaden, but I might want to get outside this afternoon.
Yes,
All right,
I'm on page with you.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm on page with you. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I teased today with, is it the dog days of summer, a traditional baseball term when they're kind of right after the All-Star break, and it's like, when's the season ever going to be over? So interestingly, I saw a big bump this week overall in the sale to new listing ratio on the detached side of things at 81%. So we had 321 new detached listings hit the market this past week, with 261 sold. So that doesn't mean that those, of those actual 321, that 261 sold, but it is a stat that we use to track, activity in the market. So days on market stayed at 34 this week, price reduced at 267. So that's been right in line with what we've seen through the summer months here. Our detached listings actually went down again this week, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So if you're new to Calgary, if you're new to kind of following real estate stats, if you're nerding out with us but want to know, why are listings going down? Here's the deal. Traditionally, prior to COVID, we would hit a period kind of post-stampede to about this time of August, mid to maybe late August, when the real estate market kind of took a holiday. I mean, realtors were working. I was working. Jaden and I were working, doing open houses in 30 degrees. But that is traditionally when real estate markets have taken a bit of a holiday. So I am not surprised to see these listings. Like if we look at, there was the week there of July 7th to 14th, which is right around Stampede. There was some very similar numbers to them. Like we really have not gone up at all, despite our sales technically have slid a little bit year over year. So total listings of 4,489, including apartment condos, row townhouses, semi-detached, and detached. Again, there are no recreational properties in Calgary that I'm aware of, so it doesn't include that. So that is kind of the weekly update. So to wrap that part up, 81% sale to new listing ratio, days on market at 34. I'll be really curious to see, at the end of August, what our months of supply ends up being. I just did our Woodbine recap earlier today, recorded, and that's going to be posted on our Woodbine Woodlands community page. Interestingly, on the Woodland side, there's 2.3 months of supply, and on the Woodbine side, there's 1 month of supply. So, where does Calgary shake out at the end of August? That will be super interesting to find out. And we only track those on a monthly basis is the best way to track that. So when we look back a year, also interestingly, our sales are actually up compared to the same week last year. New listings are down, not surprisingly, about 8%. Active listings, we're still in this period where we're 20 to 22% down in active listings overall year over year. So it creates a really interesting market where you still have some homes that are selling super quick, and then other homes that are taking a little bit longer to sell, especially once you go outside of the detached categories. 810 pendings this week. Again, that is a huge bump up from last year. So we'll see how many of those turn into sales in the next couple of weeks. Median, you see the average price there as well, and there's your days on market at 34. And over to you, Jaden, with what's going on with interest rates this week.
Yeah, well, you want to talk about the dog days of summer. There is no change. There's nothing going on. Interest rates are remaining static. We'll see what happens with this interest rate, kind of looking at the prime rate in September with the Bank of Canada. We're about a month out from that, so we'll see where that goes. But I think fixed has started coming down, and I think it's going to come down a little bit further. Just if you look at the bond market, it's actually really interesting to see that in the United States, the fixed rate has come down just about on par with the amount that the bond market has come down. So they're a little bit less risk averse than Canadian banks. There's thousands of banks to choose from rather than the big six that we have here. And our guys haven't come down quite as far yet. So I think there's some room for that to happen as things stabilize in the economy. And yeah, it's like, I'm still, people are worried about it with these rate hikes and everything like that. I still see a gap there in variable, and at the end of the day, if variable continues to go up and fixed continues to go down, you have the option to lock into that 5-year fix anytime you want. So just I really don't think now is the time to lock in at 4.49. It might suit you, and if it does, that's fine. We can definitely go that way. But it's just, you're going to buy a house when you're going to buy a house. It's just tough to lock in for the next 5 years when the market is as high as it is.
Right. And this is, I don't know if you can answer this off the top of your head, but of the mortgages you've done, let's say in the last 2 months, or maybe since the beginning of June, what do you, offhand, how many people would do variable versus lock in?
Yeah, I would say probably 80% are variable right now.
Yeah.
And we have pretty serious conversations about the variability of variable and the kinds of things that we're going to be seeing over the next 6 months to a year. But always thinking in that horizon of the next 5 years, right? And so the majority of my non-variable clients are either in a 1, 2, 3 year fixed product, just to kind of get over the hump. Let's reset and see what things are like a couple of years from now. Look at the rates again.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, this is a bit of it's a similar industry. And when I talk to guys in the car business, they echo a lot of what we've been going through as well. But my car loan is actually got a variable and a fixed portion to it. So that when I'm like, okay, I know it's not great right now, I'm paying more interest than principal, but I'm super excited about the next year to two because I know variable is going to come down again. And a lot more is going to be going to the principal there. So it's kind of unique to do it that way. But Jayden, thank you. And obviously people are going into variable because they have a very smart mortgage broker. So that's great. And I love it. I love hearing that kind of stuff because it means people are having the conversation, not just accepting what maybe the bank told or their friend or whatever. So I was just mentioning in my Woodbine, my community update here that, is it still a great time to sell? Well, hey, it's not as good a time to sell as it was January through April, but we're still 16% up, 15% up, 13% up, 12% up over last year, which was craziness, right? So you're still in a much better position if you bought, let's say, 4 to 5 years ago. There are people. I was chatting with a colleague of mine at eXp Realty, Grayson Magnus, and he was saying that he has a client that purchased a new build townhouse, I think a year ago at let's call it 385. I think it's 350 to 37. I can't remember the exact number, somewhere in that range, mid to high threes. Well, that builder is now selling that same townhouse without a garage, and they have a garage for the low 500s. So. You're in a good position if you're selling right now. If you bought anywhere past, let's call it 2 years ago, for sure. So anyway, that's just a little tale from the field there. But Jayden, you go outside, enjoy your afternoon, enjoy your weekend, and that's a wrap for today. And we will talk to you all in 7 days.
Thanks, guys.